In 2026, tech companies reported record profits while cutting over 150,000 jobs to fund AI infrastructure. In early 2026, the tech industry entered a strange new era. For decades, mass layoffs were the signal of a company in trouble, a warning sign of collapsing revenue or a failing business model. But by the spring of 2026, the script flipped. Companies were reporting record profits and surging revenues, yet they were firing thousands of people. This wasn't a crisis of survival, it was a strategic relocation of capital. By July, the toll was staggering. Depending on the tracker, between 120,000 and 68,000 tech workers had been let go across hundreds of companies. In some months, the industry was losing an average of 835 jobs every single day. The common thread in these announcements was a single recurring theme: artificial intelligence. To understand how this happened, we have to look at the mechanism. For the giants of the industry, the goal shifted from optimizing payroll to building infrastructure. The companies weren't just using AI to do work, they were spending hundreds of billions of dollars on the physical hardware required to run it. GPUs, chips, and massive data centers. This created a genuine paradox. Payroll was being converted into compute. The money that once funded salaries was now funding silicon. Take Oracle. In April 2026, Oracle executed one of the most aggressive cuts of the year, eliminating between 20,000 and 30,000 roles. The delivery was called a brief 6 a.m. email signed simply by Oracle leadership. Internal data showed the company's Slack user count plummeted by 10,000 people in a single day. But here is the key: Oracle had reported strong Q3 fiscal year 2026 earnings just before the cuts. They weren't broke. In fact, analysts from TD Cowen noted that these layoffs could generate up to $10 billion in savings. That money wasn't meant to save the company. It was earmarked to plug a $20 billion funding shortfall for AI data centers. Oracle didn't just cut the failing parts of the business. They hit the cloud, healthcare, and NetSuite divisions, the very engines of their growth. Even the sales teams were gutted, as the company bet that AI-assisted account coverage could replace the work of quota-carrying reps. Other giants followed the same blueprint. Meta announced a 10% reduction, cutting roughly 8,000 roles, specifically to redirect investments toward AI research. Snap followed suit, cutting 16% of its workforce, about 1,000 jobs. CEO Evan Spiegel was unusually direct, citing AI advancements that reduce repetitive work as the primary driver. Then there was Block. CEO Jack Dorsey eliminated 4,000 jobs, roughly 40% of the global workforce, citing the growing capability of AI tools to perform a wider range of tasks. This stood as the single largest AI-attributed layoff event in tech history at the time. But as the numbers climbed, a deeper question emerged. Was AI actually doing the work, or was it just a convenient story for Wall Street? Data from Challenger, Gray, and Christmas revealed a telling shift. In January 2026, AI was cited as the reason for only 7% of job cuts. By May, that number jumped to 40%. The capability of AI didn't improve fivefold in 4 months. What changed was the narrative. Critics point out a hidden confound: the pandemic hiring bubble. Between 2020 and 2026, over 145 million tech workers had been affected by reductions in force. Many of the teams being cut in 2026 were the same ones that ballooned during the 2021 to 2022 surge. For some executives, restructuring for AI was a more palatable way to tell investors they were correcting an old hiring mistake. Still, the relocation was real. Cisco cut nearly 4,000 jobs despite reporting better than expected profits, with CFO Mark Patterson stating the move was about realigning resources around silicon, optics, and AI. GitLab cut 40% of its staff to fund a generational rebuild of its infrastructure to support agentic workloads. Even Microsoft, which cut about 800 roles, admitted that while AI wasn't directly replacing those specific people, it was fundamentally changing how work gets done by automating everyday tasks. By mid-2026, the industry had split. Legacy enterprise companies like Intel and Dell were shedding traditional roles to fund the AI race. Meanwhile, AI-native firms like OpenAI and Anthropic continued to hire aggressively. The result was a workforce in flux. Roles built around routine, high-volume tasks, first-line support, basic QA, and boilerplate coding became the primary targets. The industry learned a hard lesson in the era of the AI pivot. Being in a high-revenue division offered no protection. If your salary was competing with a GPU for the same dollar, the GPU was winning.